All right, everybody, what's going on? Kenan here. I'm still in Australia and I'm having a blast. I want you to meet a new friend of mine. I had the pleasure of meeting this gentleman.
Thank you to our amazing supporters who help to make this show possible every week. Your support makes a real difference in our efforts here at Kamp Kenan. We hope everybody out there is staying safe and being smart during this difficult time.
So check it out, here's Steve, and we are in a beautiful facility here. This is his Reptile World in Kamp Harbour, and you can see he's got many incredible animals, including, you know, taipans and mulgas, and just really amazing what you're doing here. And you've only been open since July, right?
Yeah, about 7 months.
All right, very cool, man. So you're, you know, an old-time snake guy from Australia, huh?
Old's right.
No, you know what I mean. Like you've been around a little while.
Yeah, I suppose I've been around a while now, for 50 years, I suppose.
Right on. Well, why don't we have a look around, man? And then we're going to get to a question that has been on one of my Patreon supporters' minds, and that is, why do people keep snakes in such small enclosures? And we'll get to that in just a second, but I want you to have a look at what he's doing here. It's Kamp Harbour is kind of a holiday place where people come on holiday, right?
A holiday
so you decided to just open this up and have a little bit of fun with your hobby.
Well, we're at a very iconic place called the Big Banana.
Okay.
And everybody in Australia knows about the Big Banana, even international people have heard of it. It was the first big thing.
Okay.
And yeah, so now we're the big snake at the Big Banana. So
oh, that's pretty cool. And so this is Snappy, and you've had this guy for quite some time.
He was, I've had him since he was a kid. And yeah, now he's growing into a crocodile. It used to be Little Snappy to the preschoolers when I'd take him there and birthday parties. And now some of them have grown up a bit and they've come in and said, oh, is that Snappy the one that you used to bring to my preschool?
That's pretty cool. Yeah, you get excited. People, when you give the animals a name, you know, people tend to really...
Give them a personality.
Exactly right. Because they do have personalities.
Oh, you know? Everyone's different.
Yeah. Well, you were telling me actually about personality on this water dragon. You see she's fat and happy, folks?
Yeah.
See how nice she looks there? But the reason she's so fat and happy is because she beats up on the little guy who's hanging out over there.
Yeah, we call her the cougar.
Oh, the cougar.
The cougar, because Mark's a lot younger than she is.
Oh, Mark, Mark likes him older?
Yeah,
she's the cougar, but she chases him around, I think.
Yeah, look,
that's what they do.
She gets all the food.
Yeah, she does get all the food. She looks quite happy. We've been having some cool weather right now. Cold and, well, cool and rainy, but you got red-bellied blacks. But how about we talk about this guy right here? This is a species I've always loved. This is the lace monitor, and you said you've had this guy how long?
Well, I haven't had him all that time, but yeah, he's got to be between 20 and 25 years, I would say.
Okay.
He's got arthritis. He came to us as virtually a rehab animal.
Okay.
No muscle tone. The base of his tail was probably as thick as the middle of his tail. He couldn't climb trees anymore, so of course the amount of food he was able to get was reduced. Had to cover a lot more area on the ground to get a feed and burn up a lot of energy and became emaciated.
All right, man. And you also kind of designed his habitat to make it easy for him. Yeah.
He can get up and down. He just slides down there and just scrambles up. So yeah, no, it's all for Sammy.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's talk a little bit. Our good friend Purple Sammy, one of our Patreon supporters, people that help support my channel in the States. They ask questions, and I like to bring people like yourself. You're a snake expert, so let's talk a little bit about why snakes are kept in such small enclosures. Now, I have to be honest with you. These enclosures that you have here, much larger than what you would kind of find in a breeder's situation.
Oh, my word. Look, we get a lot of tourists here, and if we can make it look aesthetically pleasing to their eye too, and they think that it's in a natural environment, I think they appreciate the animals more too. So having them in a larger enclosure, I'm able to do that. Plus it gives the animals a little bit more room to move around. We have to have a gradient, of course, temperature gradient. So the smaller the enclosure, the less gradient there is, if we want to bring it up to a certain temperature. So one area, of course, nice and warm, the other end, a couple of degrees cooler.
Gotcha.
So they can choose where they want to be.
Right, and a lot of people, you know, you guys know how I do things, and this is why I think you and I I think we've hit it off. Really appreciate the way he does things here. It's an immaculate place, it's clean, the animals are happy, he's very knowledgeable, and what I love to do is I like to recreate nature in my backyard or do whatever I can for these animals because they are so incredibly interesting to watch move about.
From what I've seen about your backyard, you're very passionate.
Well, you're very kind. Thank you so much. Yes, sir. Some people, you know, I do with a simple pickup truck, but I got the Ferrari of ponds in the back there. Thank you so much. But anyhow, what I was going on about is the fact that, you know, some guys, when they do the rack systems, I mean, the snakes are well cared for. It's just not necessarily my mode of operation because I'm not a breeder. I don't breed hundreds of animals. And that's not to say that what they're doing is animal cruelty or anything like that. Snakes do like to hide quite a bit.
Love it. Small snake in a small enclosure, no problems. A hatchling in a small enclosure, of course, I feel a lot more comfortable. But you know, big snakes like this, I'm sure it must be nice for them to be able to stretch out.
I think stretching out is good. It's common sense. Speaking of stretching out, would you mind terribly if we get hands on one of these little guys here?
Yeah.
How about we do a little bit of maybe mulga handling 101?
Oh, we can do that.
Are you sure?
And this is the guy. This is Colin. He's a collar snake, Sherback's collar.
Oh, excuse me. I thought it was the mulga. We're gonna get the collet snake out. My bad.
We can do the mulga.
Whatever you want to do. Let's get that collet snake out.
How about we do both?
Yes.
Not at the same time.
No, we'll do it once. All right. And we're still hanging out. We got Dave Kaufman hanging out here. We also got Brian Cusco, there he is, handsome guy. I did snap a shot where we might have seen a little plumber's crack, but we're not going to talk about that. Hey, everyone, watch your pants, watch your pants. All right, so I may actually ask one of these two guest camera operators, Tom, don't worry, your job is still safe. But when dealing with the collet snake here, it's kind of important to, you know, be safe. Now I do trust that I've only known Steve all about 1 hour, and man, let me tell you, I trust this guy. Yeah. Very good. So we're gonna pull this snake. All right, so check it out, the collet snake. Actually, I was just talking to a good pal, Chandler from Chandler's Wildlife. He recently picked one of these snakes up. Not so sure it's this large, Chandler. I'm calling you. I'm giving Chandler a shout out now as well. So I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead and just because we like to stay alive, hand it off to Brian. Thanks, Brian. I do appreciate it. And again, guys, with these guys, well, we're gonna flip her. Let's flip her around. So when handling elapids like this, give me a little elapid 101. We don't have very many elapids here in the United States. In fact, the only one we have is the coral snake, and that's nowhere near as big and powerful as this snake. So what's the best procedure? I mean, this is, as you say, this is a very, I'm almost tempted just to kind of...
He's so conditioned to handling.
Okay.
It's amazing, really. Of course, I'm not into free handling venomous snakes without a hook somewhere there. Okay. That front end is the end that I always watch out for, the receiving end. But look, as you can see, he's very comfortable. Not stressed, not worried.
No, just in as long as I'm gentle with
it. Yeah, look, that's really all it takes. There's no reason for him to just turn around.
Gotcha. Now this snake you've had how long?
18 years.
18 years. And what do you think the lifespan of a collet snake should be?
So far, 18 years. But look, he's in pretty good nick. I know he looks old and grey like me, and weathered, but I reckon there's a few more years left to him, just by his behaviour there. You know, he's
still active and
but
still.
How many times have we had snakes and we go, oh wow, this one's going to live forever, and it turns belly up the next day. And you go,
this is amazing,
my
guys.
favourite snake's just died.
This is amazing. So, really cool opportunity for me to get hands-on expertise with a collet snake from somebody that definitely knows how to keep them alive.
Sorry, you just scared me.
I did. That's all right. So what we're gonna do, but it's good that I react, right? It'd be bad if I didn't, right? I think I did all right.
Now stand still when you see a snake. Sometimes we don't.
Well, you know, I'll tell you what.
We run.
I gotta tell you, I think I actually was less frightened of this snake than that opossum I saw earlier today. You guys don't even know. I yelped when I saw the possum. It ran right next to me. We're gonna go ahead and put this little guy back. He's flattening out a little bit. So let's see. We'll go ahead and get him back in and I'll get our oh, there you go. we're gonna move on to another critter, but this is really cool, and that's Colin right behind me. He's one of the chairs of the Hawkesbury Herpetological Society. Those guys brought me over here. But what do you reckon we're gonna get on now?
Thor's paying a bit of attention, so how about this?
Yeah.
I'll have Thor.
Cool. So Thor is actually a coastal carpet python. You guys know actually, I have a snake named Colin also.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's a coastal carpet python. Yeah, named after my buddy Colin Schumark from down in New South Wales. So, all right, well, you know your snakes. Usually when the door's open, does it mean they want feed?
Okay, these guys are great. I haven't been feeding for the last week, so there's no scent around, there's nothing there.
Very cool. So you can just go ahead and pick them right up.
He's a good size snake.
Yeah, now the coastal carpets, here we go, let's see. These are the largest of the carpets, aren't they?
Yes.
And then just like Colin, they get squirrely. Here, Brian, would you do me a solid, mate? I love this. And this is not, why he's doing this is not because he's annoyed, he just wants to latch onto something. He feels his body not supported. So these guys are kind of snakes that are semi-horrid. You can see they can telescope out to another area. You'll find these guys, we've been looking, I'll tell you, we've been looking all over, and because of the weather, it's just not been agreeing with snakes, I suppose. So, he's loose. Oh my gosh, Colin. I mean, what's his name? Thor?
Excited.
Yeah, he is excited. Maybe he likes me. I don't know. Very cool.
I reckon there's a good chance.
Yeah. Oh, here he is. All right, well, check it out. What an awesome day here at Reptile World. Steve, I really appreciate you taking the time.
It's my pleasure. It was great meeting you.
Really cool to meet you too.
Yeah.
If you get to Australia, you got to come to the Big Banana to see the big snakes, and you got to meet Steve. And if you do come here, whether you're from Australia or from abroad, tell them Kamp Kenan sent you. We answered questions today. We played with snakes. I learned something about the Colette snake. And Colin, thanks so much for this trip, man. He's been really doing a great job for all of us, keeping us going. If he, what's that?
One of the best decisions.
Thank you so much, Nate. If he could control the weather, Colin would, but that's the only thing he can't control. But he knows a lot of reptile people who have made this trip a lot of fun. Dave's hiding in the back. Dave, say goodbye.
I'm looking at all the cool snakes in here.
Yeah, and then say goodbye, Brian. Thanks for helping me out. Yeah, good boy. All right. See you, Thor. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want. Thanks, man.